Why are you sitting there? My mom's standing with a plate. Get up and show some respect, shouted my husband across the Thanksgiving table. I was 9 months pregnant. They used my card to pay $4,800 for dinner. I said nothing. All 38 guests started clapping. I looked around, whispered, check your phones, left without my coat, and blocked every account they've ever used. 10 minutes later, the family chat exploded. 53 missed calls and 1 text from my husband. They're still waiting for you to pay. It was supposed to be Thanksgiving. My first real one as a wife, as a mother-to-be. 9 months pregnant, swollen ankles, lower back screaming, and still I showed up with a pumpkin pie and a bottle of non-alcoholic cider because tradition matters. They used my card. I didn't even know it until I got a notification mid-dinner, $4,812.74. Catering. Table rentals. Champagne I wasn't allowed to drink. I looked around at all 38 guests, none of whom seemed to think it was strange that the woman closest to labor was also the one footing the bill. His mother was standing beside me. Not once did she say thank you. She stood there with her heavy plate like a queen surveying a kingdom she didn't build. And then he said it. Why are you sitting there? My mom's standing with a plate. Get up and show some respect. Everyone turned. 38 faces. My husband's voice bouncing off the silverware and candles. It was loud. Calculated. Performed. I didn't say a word. I stood up. Slowly. Belly first. Waddled around the table to hand her the chair like I was her butler. My pelvis cracked audibly. I sat down on the armrest of the couch, breath shallow, and watched as everyone clapped. Clapped. Not one person thought to say, she's pregnant. Not one person looked uncomfortable. They applauded me getting up. For her. I whispered one thing before I left. Check your phones. Then I walked out without my coat. Left the pie. Left the bottle. Didn't even close the door. 10 minutes later, I was in the car, engine running, watching their reactions explode one by one. Group chat. Family chat. Private numbers. 53 missed calls. 1 text from him. They're still waiting for you to pay. I smiled. And replied. Then I put the phone down and exhaled, slow and full. Not from relief, from clarity. Because the truth is, that moment at the table? That wasn't the betrayal. It was just the final confirmation. The real damage had been done long before the applause. We'd been married 4 years. Together for 6. I paid for most of the wedding. He said he'd pay me back when the business took off. It never did. The house was in my name. The utilities. The food bills. Even the subscriptions to his precious streaming platforms. Every holiday dinner? I booked it. Every birthday cake for his mom? I ordered it. He never once noticed the charge because my card was already saved in his phone. But I never made a scene. That's the thing. I thought it would balance out. That eventually someone, him, his mother, the siblings who always left with foil wrap leftovers, would say thank you. Instead, they made me the wallet. The incubator. The unpaid maid. 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, I told him I might not feel up to hosting. I'd been getting dizzy spells. Braxton Hicks were intensifying. I wanted something quiet. He just looked at me and said, my mom already invited everyone. You'll be fine. You don't have to cook, we're having it catered. Catered. With my card. And I didn't know that, not yet. Because at the time, I was focused on staying upright long enough to finish my prenatal appointment. I didn't realize that while I was peeing into a cup, his mother was texting him screenshots of menu options with $signs attached. And he just replied, use her card. She won't say no. She didn't even ask. I found the proof later after. November 22nd, 3:47 p.m., his mom emailed the caterer. November 22nd, 3:49 p.m., my card was charged. He was standing outside the OB/GYN office texting, got it all sorted while I was scheduling the C-section date alone. Alone. Because he said he had a conference call. I didn't think much of it at the time. Then came the guest list. 38 names. I didn't even recognize half of them. His third cousin with the crypto startup. Some guy from high school who calls me the pregnant chick. His ex's mom. No seat for my sister. No invite for my best friend. Just his people. I tried to say something. Maybe we keep it small? I'm due next week. He blinked at me like I'd interrupted him mid-speech. They already bought outfits. Outfits. They bought coordinated outfits for Thanksgiving and I didn't even know we were hosting. He said, don't worry, you just relax. We'll handle it. What he meant was, shut up and pay. I spent the next few days prepping the guest bathroom, scrubbing baseboards I could barely bend to reach, ordering extra folding chairs. He didn't notice. He was busy booking a live violinist. For ambience. My mom called the night before. Asked if she should bring dessert. I don't think you're on the list, I said, trying to sound calm. She paused. He said it's just his side this year. That you needed fewer stressors. I said nothing. Just thanked her for the call and hung up. That's when I felt it. That cold, hollow feeling. Like something had already been decided without me. Like I wasn't even a guest in my own life, just a convenience. The morning of Thanksgiving, I was in the kitchen at 6 a.m., sipping water between cramps. He was still asleep. His mom arrived at 8:12 with 3 empty Tupperware containers and a look that said, "You're late." By noon, I was background noise. I caught her saying I told her pregnancy brain would make her forget the salad. She was holding court in the dining room like it was her house. When I whispered that I needed to sit down for a minute, she smiled and said, "You've been sitting a lot lately, haven't you?" No one flinched. He didn't even hear her. Or pretended not to. Until the moment she stood behind my chair. And he shouted. Then came the clapping. Then came my exit. But what no one realized, not in that moment, was that I wasn't walking away hurt. I was walking away prepared. Because 3 days before Thanksgiving, I made a backup. An encrypted PDF of every transaction over $100 in the last 6 months. Screenshots of every payment made from my card to his mother's Venmo. Including the ones marked "Thanks for groceries" that matched the exact total of wine orders from a local boutique. Bank records. Rental invoices. The caterer's receipt that listed my name and my address. I had been the foundation. The roof. The walls. They just painted themselves into the photo and called it theirs. And now? Now they were clapping. And now? Now I had already logged into the admin panel. The accounts were mine. The auto payments? Cancelled. The family Netflix account? Logged out on every device. The emergency credit line? Frozen. Their holiday bonus? Processed by me. Stopped by me. He once said, "You're just so good at managing everything." He was right. He just forgot what happens when the manager quits. The real explosion didn't come with the clapping. It came when I opened his laptop. He never changed the password. Same one since college. A mix of his football number and his ex's initials. Subtle, right? It wasn't snooping. Not after what he'd done. Not after he used my card like a business account and paraded his mother around like royalty while I sat there, pregnant and disposable. I didn't even have to search. It was all there. Emails with his mom, forwarding invoices before asking me anything. Use her card, she's got it. Don't worry, she'll think it was her idea. They laughed about it. My exhaustion. My swollen feet. They called me the bank with a belly. There was a spreadsheet. Literally titled "Holiday Budget" covered. Every cell highlighted. My name on the payment line. Even the tablecloth rental was tagged her Amex. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was the message threat from the night before Thanksgiving. A group chat between him, his mom, and his sister. Make sure she wears something loose. We don't want her ruining the photos. She always looks tired lately. Maybe seat her in the corner. Just get her to sit and smile. After that, no one needs her. That line broke something in me. No one needs her. Not, she's carrying our child. Not, she's hosting the dinner. Just a disposable background prop. But here's the kicker, my name wasn't even on the invitations. His sister had sent digital invites weeks ago, and I wasn't CC'd. The RSVP confirmation went to his mother's email. All replies managed through a Google form. The section for dietary restrictions was blank. I'm allergic to almonds. The catered dessert? Almond tart. They had planned it without me. Used me. Erased me. And then applauded me for moving when told. So I kept going. Logged into the shared family cloud, the one I paid for. Inside were receipts for spa appointments his mother had booked in my name. She'd used the email tied to my business account. 3 massages. 1 prenatal facial. All billed to me. There were Uber rides. Meal deliveries. Even the dog groomer. They don't own a dog. I cross-checked timestamps. The week I was hospitalized for dehydration, they sent a group text. Let's not bother her. She's dramatic when she's sick. Then ordered sushi. On me. He was at the hospital for 10 minutes. Said he had a meeting. That meeting? A haircut. Confirmed by calendar invite. I went cold. Not angry. Not hurt. Just surgical. That night, I moved every dollar into a new private account. Canceled every joint service. Rerouted my paychecks. changed the locks. Then I took my name off the baby registry. Yes, my own baby. Because that registry had been created by his mother. She'd put her address. She'd chosen items I'd never seen. A $1,200 bassinet I didn't want. A monogrammed diaper bag with her initials. Not mine. When I removed myself as co-owner of the registry, she emailed me. Please don't cause drama. We already told people where to ship the gifts. I didn't respond. I sent a new registry link to 3 people only. My best friend, my sister, my OB-GYN. Then I did one last thing. I printed everything. Every email. Every receipt. Every group chat thread. Bound it in a folder and slid it under his pillow. The title page? Since no one needs her. That morning I left before he woke up. Drove to a hotel. Checked in under my maiden name. By noon the calls started. By 4 p.m. I was getting voicemails from his boss. Because apparently the catering company had flagged my card as disputed. And when the refund bounced, they contacted the business listed on the invoice. His job. His expense account was frozen. He texted me at 6:11 p.m. What did you do? You're ruining everything. I replied with a screenshot of the baby registry. The real one. With the correct address. With my name. Then I turned off the phone. Because this wasn't about revenge anymore. This was about exposure. And they were about to find out what it feels like when the woman they erased writes the final draft. There were no tears. Just tasks. At 5:42 a.m., I opened my laptop, launched every tab I needed: banking, insurance, utility portals, streaming platforms, delivery apps, shared drives. My fingers moved automatically, the same way they always had when I ran this household from the background. But this time I wasn't managing a system. I was dismantling one. Digital access first. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, DoorDash, Uber, Instacart, all still logged in on his devices. I didn't revoke access, I deleted users, changed emails, reset passwords, logged out every phone, tablet, TV. One by one, I updated the profiles section. Each one now read, access terminated, unauthorized user. I did not notify him. I did not explain. These were not shared resources. They were exploited ones. Then came financial infrastructure. The joint checking account we opened after the wedding closed. I drained the balance, recorded the final transaction ID, exported the account history, and had a certified statement printed. Our savings account, the one I'd funded 92% of, based on internal transfers in pay stub tracking, was split. My portion moved to a new account. The remaining balance? Locked. Pending legal freeze. The emergency fund? Gone. Redirected to a private high-interest account. Same with the Roth IRA I opened for us both. I had contributed, he had not. So I rolled it into a solo retirement plan flagged under my maiden name. Each account came with documentation. Each closure had a digital signature. I timestamped every action. Then, insurance. I logged into our family policy. His dental. His vision. His mother's medications, all tied to my premiums. I removed my name from the primary holder role. Enrolled in my employer solo plan. Selected the higher prenatal tier. Scheduled the postnatal pediatric transfer. 2 phone calls confirmed it. I was now covered separately. The baby was covered fully, under me only. They would receive notices soon. Documents next. The Google Drive. The home base for meal plans, checklists, baby name ideas, grocery trackers. I cleared it out. Archived what I needed. Moved everything to a new private drive. Then created one last folder in the old one. Reconciliation Ledger, Q4. It contained 6 documents. Wedding expenses itemized by vendor, date, payment method. Household purchases, couch, crib, cutlery. 100% my card. Event costs, his birthday, her birthday, Thanksgiving. Grocery receipts, 74% paid by me since January. Medical bills, prenatal visits, prescriptions, supplements. Bank transfers, proof of one-way money movement. Each document included subtotals and annotations. Where applicable, I linked screenshots of Venmo, PayPal, and email confirmations. Final page, a balance sheet. Total owed, $38,614.72. Due in 14 calendar days. Payable in full. No partial settlements accepted. At 8:15 a.m., I sent the email. To him, his mother, his sister. Subject, outstanding balances and divorce proceedings. Attachment, reconciliation underscore ledger underscore Q4.pdf. You are no longer engaging with a spouse. You are addressing a financial file. You have 14 days to settle the outstanding balance. After that, the matter is escalated to litigation. This email serves as formal notice. I blind copied my attorney. By 9 a.m., she had submitted the initial motion. Petition for divorce. Claim for reimbursement. Asset freeze request. Injunction against financial retaliation. She drafted it all in advance. All she needed was my go-ahead. I gave it with 3 words: initiate full process. We filed under grounds of financial abuse, deception, and marital fraud. Her wording, not mine. I preferred breach of contract. I signed every page without hesitation. Notary present. 2 witnesses. Time-stamped. Afterward, I logged back in. Deleted the baby registry his mother created. The one with her shipping address. The one that asked for a $1,200 stroller I never picked. I created a new one, shared with exactly 3 people. Then I canceled his access to our OB app. Rerouted all notifications to my number only. There were 37 missed calls by noon. 3 voicemails. 1 text, "Is this how you treat your family?" I didn't reply. Instead, I opened our shared calendar. Deleted everything. Appointments, holidays, reminders. The baby's due date? I moved it to my new calendar under a new Google account. Finally, I renamed the old calendar. Inactive account closed. I didn't say goodbye. Didn't explain. Because there's nothing left to explain when the audit is complete. 17 days. That's how long it took for the court to respond. Not with sympathy. Not with comfort. With confirmation. A stamped order. Partial restitution approved. Claim validated. $28,961.04 payable within 90 days. I didn't smile. I didn't cry. I just folded the document and slid it into the blue folder marked resolved. They didn't fight it. Not really. Maybe they realized the evidence was airtight. Or maybe they understood something else, that silence from me wasn't surrender. It was calculation. The repayment terms came by email from their lawyer. Monthly disbursement schedule attached. Signed formal cold. Exactly like them. My lawyer responded. All future communication shall remain through counsel. The claimant does not consent to direct contact. And that was it. The wall went up. Legally. Emotionally. Permanently. 3 days later, the first envelope arrived. No return address. No note. Just a cashier's check. First installment. $3,221. I didn't deposit it. Not right away. I held it for 2 days. Not out of hesitation, out of ceremony. Then I placed it into a manila folder titled Reparations Phase 1. Not refund. Not help. Reparations. This wasn't generosity. It was obligation. Debt recovery. The cost of betrayal measured in zeros and commas. No apology arrived. No, we're sorry. No, we didn't realize. They knew. And now they were paying. Each check would arrive the same way. Silent, clinical, unmarked. I kept them all in chronological order, each one a receipt for the invisible labor, the emotional theft, the quiet endurance they mistook for weakness. But just when I thought silence would be permanent, a headline appeared, not in a tabloid but on my own feed. His engagement. Posted by his mother. So thrilled to welcome my new daughter, kind, elegant, everything we prayed for. The photos showed them on a porch I once swept. Her hand on his chest. A diamond 3 times the size of mine. My tablecloth in the background. My garden in bloom. I didn't react. Not online. Not out loud. But I took a screenshot. Not to keep, to file. Under. Replaced in still repaid. They moved on quickly. Celebrated faster than they compensated. His mother commented, finally, someone who knows her place. And suddenly it was all so clear. They never wanted a partner. They wanted a placeholder. On the 20th day, I signed the divorce papers. Final signature. Final initials. The clerk watched me slide the pen back into my purse. "You want a copy?" she asked. "No," I said. "I want my name back." The stamp went down. Dissolution complete. I walked out of that building without glancing over my shoulder. No more what-ifs. No more explaining. No more giving pieces of myself to people who treat wholeness as inconvenience. At home, the apartment was quiet. Peaceful. The only folder on my desk, new budget solo. My income. My expenses. My future. I made tea. sat in the armchair by the window, pulled out a notebook and wrote a single line across the top. What I keep is mine. What I gave away is done. Then I underlined it. Because this wasn't just about money, or contracts, or signatures. This was about sovereignty. My body, my bank account, my boundaries. He didn't break me. They didn't erase me. They tried to reduce me to convenience. And I returned them a bill. As the sun hit the table, I leaned back and whispered to no one. This was never about them. It was always about me. And I'm done negotiating my worth.